Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 1, Text 7. Can we repeat? Sattvam,
Sattvam,
Rajas, Tama,
Tama,
Iti, Prakrite, Natmano, Guna, Na, Tesham, Yugapat, Rajam, Rasa. Okay, this is with HR. Ulasa, Eva, Va. Take line for line, also try to follow. Sattvam Rajastama Iti. Prakrite Natmano Guna. Nate Samyugapadrajam. Rasa Ulasa Eva Va. Sattvam Rajastama Iti. Prakrite Natmano Guna. Natesham Yugapadrajam. Rasa Ulasa Eva Va. Sattvam Rajastama Iti. Prakrite Natmano Guna. Natesham Yugapadrajam. Rasa Ulasa Eva Va.
Okay, Sattvam Rajastama Iti. Prakrite Natmano Guna. Natesham Yugapadrajan. Rasa Ulasa Eva Va.
Sattvam, the Lord of goodness. Raja, the Lord of passion. Tama, the Lord of ignorance. Iti, thus. Prakrite, of material nature. Na, not. Atmanaha, of the spirit soul. Gunaha, qualities. Na, not. Tesam, of them. Yugapat, simultaneously. Rajam, O king. Rasa, diminution. Ulasa, prominence. Eva, certainly. Va, or. Translation. Translation. My dear King Parikshit, the material qualities, Sattvagun, Rajagun and Tamagun, all belongs to the material world and do not even touch the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These three gunas cannot act by increasing or decreasing simultaneously. Purport. The original position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is one of equality. there's no question of his being influenced by Sattva Guna, Raja Guna or Tama Guna. For these material qualities cannot touch the Supreme Lord. The Lord is therefore called the Supreme Ishvara. Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is the Supreme Controller. He controls material qualities. Davi Yesha Gunami Mama Maya. Maya Jakshena Prakriti Suyate. Material nature, Prakriti, works under his order. How then can he be under the qualities of Prakriti? Krishna is never influenced by the material qualities. Therefore, there is no question of partiality in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Agnati Miranda Shagana Satya Shakshu Nama Om Vishnu Krishna Krishna Namaste Saraswati Guruvana Prachani So the issue is whether Krishna is equal to everyone, partial. That was the question in the beginning of the chapter here. And I'm thinking that, let's see, how is it in the previous canto, it ends, someone of the Krishna, or Lord Vishnu, is taking the part of the demigods to protect them. At the same time, he is equal to everyone. So this is seemingly contradictory in some way. We know that Hiranyakashipu, I think that will be later in this canto, yes. We'll have Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So you have Hiranyaksha already in the third canto, creating a trouble in the universe. And then Varahadev coming there and killing him. Beautiful way. But then after, at some point there, these Hiranyakashipu, he can't take it. Lord Vishnu is supposed to be equal to everyone, but now he takes the signs of the demigods and kills my brother. This is too much. So then he becomes the sworn enemy of Lord Vishnu, because Lord Vishnu doesn't upkeep his standard of being equal to everyone according to his opinion. Because Lord Krishna, for the sake of the universe, he takes the sides of the demigods, but otherwise he is equal to everyone. He wants the best. He wants the best for everyone. And the question is whether we want the best for us, or the question is whether we understand what is best for us. In one sense, everyone wants the best for him or her. I want the biggest, I want the best room, I want the best, I don't know what I want. Best, whatever it is, best drug, maybe. certain circuits, it will be, what's the best drug, where's the best stuff to get, if I understand it right. So everyone is interested in what's best for him or her, in one sense, what they think is best for him or her, or what would be pleasing for them here. Best. But Krishna is equally supplying everyone. That is also his equality. He's equally supplying the necessities of life to all living beings. Of course, somewhat according to their karma of desires, because they may not just have the karma for it there. Something is meant to happen. But otherwise, Krishna, he supplies freely, so say quite freely to everyone what they need, even the ants and cats and the dogs and snakes and whatever, lions. At the same time, he supplies, but you have to do something to get it. Mostly the flies, not the flies, maybe the flies, but not the birds flying into your mouth. That's the expression, having the birds flying into your mouth. You don't have to do anything. But if you have good karma, it may be like that for a period of time. But Krishna, to one hand, he supplies, we can say equally, in one sense equally, or it may look unequally due to the karma of the living beings. Why does he have such a fancy car and I just have a small car from 1999? Well, what's the problem? Well, he supplies, okay, karma. But with Krishna actually is equally, in one sense, concerned or wishing all his living beings to become surrender to him or spiritually progress to actually go the right path. But he gives the living entities that freedom of choice. Do I surrender to Krishna? I'm going to go to turn to Krishna. I'm going to go the spiritual path, the good path, or not. In one sense, that is our choice. But it's also like so Krishna equally, anyone who somewhat sincerely, or sincerely asks, or just asks, so then what is really the meaning of life? I mean, just this beginning of these existential questions coming up in the mind, someone started to ask that. I mean, Krishna equally reciprocates with the living beings when he gets to this point. He doesn't know. You ask him what the meaning of life, but you're from Denmark, or you're from Sweden, or you're black, or you're white, or specifically the human beings. I don't know the cats and dogs actually, how far they are able to really understand that they're not really created in that way to put these questions. But the human beings are created to put these questions. That's their function. The function of the human being is to be, I read yesterday or the day before, something Manisani, they are thoughtful, reflective. That's the human being. He's meant to be that. Of course, there may also be a different different degrees of human beings, different categories of human beings. So those with the more of the mode of goodness will be maybe more reflective, more compassionate, more active, you could say. And when you're more in ignorance, you're more sleep is not the right word to say. when you're less concerned for the spiritual matters or something. So the human being has that function. That's the function of the human being. That's the real function, is to actually inquire about what is the purpose of life. And then from that, and then comes the question, other questions like where is everything coming? Well, what am I really? So when these questions comes to the living being in the human form of life, or in the human form of life, then Krishna reciprocates. He gives guidance from within, and he makes sure there's some guidance from without also. Basically, more or less all human societies have some concept of God, or the purpose of life, or the eternality of the life. Well, maybe not the Christian or the Muslim. Well, they have some concept also that there's a life after this one. But it's only one life, okay? There's only one life here, and then we go here or there. So that way, I would say, that on that level, Krishna is there. He's on the spiritual level. When we transcend the material level, then we can understand, yes, Krishna is actually, he's truly equal to everyone. Because everyone gets, in a way, a fair chance to progress in spiritual life, at least in the human form of life. Or it's all set up, the whole thing is set up in such a way that the living being gradually progresses and gets to the human life, form of life, and then has a fair chance to ask the essential questions, the existential questions. What is the existential questions that is the essential questions? real goal of life. Because like also everyone wants to, not maybe everyone, but many times in the human society, might be under the influence of Raja Guna. I want to be the best. Be the best, the champion or whatever it is. Maybe it goes, we want to be the best lecturer, we want to be the best Sankirtan man, we want to be the best devotee, we want to be so many things. Maybe it could be that someone thinks. But that yes, we are meant to be best. But the good with this, I don't know if we can call it, the good with this game, but everyone can be best. Everyone can win. What was it? You have this American army, they have these different kind of medals, and something. What was that book? Medal of Honor. And then I think of the Medal of Honor, there was this one devotee who wrote a book about military things, put it in a Krishna conscious way. The US Army has different, so we have one, if you're in battle and engaged, and then you get one kind of medal. And then you get the topmost medal is the medal, I think was Medal of Honor, that they give to someone who died in a glorious way in the battle. So we can all become eligible for Krishna's Medal of Honor. And that is to actually live this life, serve Krishna to our best capacity, and then leave this life serving Krishna and thinking of Krishna. And we go to the spiritual world, the Medal of Honor, honoring, let's say. Maybe everyone else don't know about it, but what's the use of that? Because important is that you know about it. That's like maybe the soldier dies gloriously on the field, and then they give him a Medal of Honor, was it posthumous, to say after his death. One says, what difference does it make for the soul, for that soul that he got, that they gave him that medal? Because he's already somewhere else. So our Medal of Honor is something that we take with us. It gives us an entrance into the spiritual world, and that is what matters. And we say Krishna is equal to everyone. He gives equally. I don't know, in any case, when someone is qualified, then he reciprocates, lovingly, caringly. Because lovingly and caringly, one say, why couldn't it be a little bit easier? So then we can say, Krishna's love does not spoil us. Otherwise we might be spoiled. Spoiled kids, maybe nowadays, I don't know, people, if it's actually love either, when they just give and make everything easy for the children. No, they actually don't learn anything, they don't really grow, because they're not really giving any challenges, appropriate challenges for the development. So Krishna, you can maybe say that is, Krishna gives us appropriate challenges for us to develop in our Krishna consciousness. And sometimes it can be more heavy challenges, so to say. But if you're not accepting the challenge of Krishna consciousness, and saying, oh no, this is too much, I'm gonna live an easy life in the material world. But as far as I understand, that's not possible either. Because wherever you go, in one way or another, there will be challenges. Materially speaking, there will be, you'll have to have a job, you have whatever it is, and that. I'm going to have a happy life getting married, and that's okay. You can be happy getting married. But then that will also be a challenge. Everything will, there's all the challenges. So Krishna also put some challenges on our path of Krishna consciousness. But the point is, if you wouldn't meet, be up to the challenge, well, Krishna gives us new opportunities. He doesn't say, okay, then he's useless. Maybe we're useless in one sense, but for the soul, that's always a new opportunity. And even if we would fail in this human fall life to go back to Godhead, then Krishna says no problem. In this endeavor, there's no loss of denomination. And even a small progress can save one from the most dangerous type of fear. So that way, it says that even if you make a small progress, then in the beginning, in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, because Krishna speaks, I think he will speak about action without reaction, acting without attachment. So acting without attachment. But even small progress, we can say for Krishna consciousness, even a small progress, there's no loss. It will stay with us, whatever we acquired. Whatever we actually acquired as far as Krishna consciousness goes, will follow us. In this life and into next life. Maybe in a way we could say that it could be that also in this life we are taking advantage in some way, that we gain favored by some small progress we made in previous lives. So here the point made is that Krishna is not under the modes of material nature. We can say he's not under the modes of material nature. He does not consider things in a material way. He has a spiritual vision. And then he said, well, he cannot be touched because he is the Supreme Lord. He is the source of the material energy. He is the source of the freemost material nature, if you say it like that. But he is the source, and he is the controller. Stated he is the Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is the supreme Ishvara. He is in control of it. He is the source of it, and he is in control of it. Then otherwise, if he wouldn't be in control of it, it would be a little bit like this story about Frankenstein. I think Frankenstein's monster. What was it called? Frankenstein's monster. I think the guy was in the story is called Frankenstein because it's Frankenstein's monster. So someone, scientist or whatever, they managed to put together some artificial being, taking whatever dead pieces of bodies from the graveyard or what it was, putting it all together, added some electricity, and then this weird character comes out, who looks not so nice as far as we have seen on the movies or some pictures, as we depicted. But then he creates something, and maybe we can say our modern civilization is like, our modern civilization is a Frankenstein's monster. Because he created something that then was out of control. And actually the creation then came, I think it came to take revenge, or if it came to kill his creator or something like that. Yes, okay. So the creation wanted to kill its creator. So Krishna is